And without any further ado, we would like to begin today's session. So, today we
Yeah.
have Chef Nikitha Umesh with us. So, I'll just give a short introduction for you, ma'am, quickly because I have prepared it and I want to read it out for you. So, I'll please bear with me. So, Chef
Yeah.
Nikitha Umesh's journey is one of passion, perseverance, and pastry. What began as a childhood fascination with cooking shows turned into a full-fledged career, taking her from the kitchens of ITC hotels to co-founding one of Hyderabad's best patisseries. She's also made headlines as a judge on MasterChef India Telugu, mentoring the next generation of culinary talent. Today, she stands as an inspiring example of what happens when you follow your heart and your taste buds. So, ma'am, welcome to IIMUN. It's
Thank
great
you
having you
so much.
here.
Likewise, it's my first Instagram live and it's really special.
Yes. So before going to the main question answer part, before diving into
Yes.
the main question answer, I have one question for you.
Yes.
I want you to reflect back on your journey. Let's have a full circle movement. So once in your childhood, you used to watch MasterChef, you used to watch culinary shows on television. How
Yes.
was the journey from watching MasterChef as a fan to being a judge on it? How does it feel to be on the other side of the table?
It was nerve-wracking. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, although I'm a pastry chef. Uh, it was fun. It was a surreal moment for me, honestly, because I I was in complete awe growing up and watching the show, and it's kind of what led me to pursue and become a chef, and then to finally realize that I had the opportunity to be on the franchise as a chef and a judge. I didn't expect that. Not even in my wildest dreams did I ever expect it. So it was, it came with a lot of excitement, happiness. I also did a little bit of a dance as soon as I found out. But it was great, and I think it will definitely make it to one of the top 10 moments of my life, for sure.
That's that, that's great, ma'am. So, ma'am, coming to my first question. So, in our Indian households, typically, chef being a chef is downgraded a lot. So, you have grown up in a
Yes,
traditional setup. And whenever I speak to my friends who want to pursue culinary, they always say that people tease them ki bawarchi ban raha hai, bawarchi ban raha hai. Particular, what you say, career
correct,
option is too downgraded in our Indian society. So,
correct,
how did you turn your goal of becoming a chef into a successful and a serious career by convincing your family? What were the
correct.
things that you did?
So I honestly come from, uh, a background of people not knowing the industry. None of my family hail from the hospitality industry in general. They come from conventional backgrounds of, from a family of administrative background, and also being an engineer, being a doctor is always glorified more than what I chose to do. So it did come with a lot of convincing, and also sort of owning up to the fact that this is what I want to do with my life. And just, I think, um, just owning up to the fact that yes, this is what I want to do, and being stubborn about it is sort of what led me to choose this. And I think that every step of the way, I was just wanting to be true to myself at the end of the day, because when you take that onus that this is what I want to do and I am going to succeed in this no matter what, you just have that sense of responsibility and you just want to live up to it. So I think in terms of that, I sort of never looked back. I just wanted to do the best at my own capacity or my capabilities. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, you want to stand in front of your parents and say that, hey, listen, I did something right with my career because I chose to do what I want to do rather than anybody else choosing it for me. So yeah,
So, it's your stubbornness that got you from that traditional setup to making it into a serious career.
Yes, and I think it is more on the lines of the fact that taking ownership, that I have chosen this, so I'll give it my best. I'll give it my best rather than any comparisons or any benchmarks. I'll do whatever is the best that I
Great, great, man. That's great. Good to know. So, my next question is a very simple question, okay?
can.
Why desserts? Like, there are many cuisines available in the world. Out of all cuisines, why chocolate pastry? Why
Yes.
desserts?
I think no matter what, you have a meal and at the end of it you say, kuch meeta ho jaye. Like, let's end it with something sweet. And that's primarily where I wanted to come in and bring a smile on people's face. And yeah, I think I really enjoy the process of baking. It's a lot of science, it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of experience that you have. So definitely, I really enjoy bringing a smile on people's face, and desserts really connect to me. So yes, everything sweet, I'm ready to explore and see what best we can do as chefs to bring in better quality ingredients, use great quality ingredients, and give people the best that we can.
That's true. Serving from the heart, basically.
Yes,
So,
yes, absolutely.
yes. So, ma'am, my next question is based on MasterChef Telugu. So, what we see on the screen is completely different from what happens behind the scenes. So, yes. So, what were some of the most unexpected moments that happened during judging?
So, honestly, like a lot of times, we say that, oh, it's all scripted. It is not like that. They are actually cooking live right in front of us. And the great thing that I got to experience about MasterChef India Telugu, especially where the contestants really outperformed themselves and they cooked such fantastic food. So it is difficult uh, to be able to cook in front of the camera and to cook off the camera. So it was great to see how they just took it upon themselves and really delivered really good food. So that and in fact a lot of the times we also took inspiration from them from coming from a background of, not really being very exposed to food and doing what they were doing. It was fantastic. So something that you don't see is that it does take a long time for us to put together the entire episode, to conceptualize, to uh, bring it out onto the screen the way people enjoy watching. So, something that people don't know is that you see an episode which is about 45 minutes to an hour, but then in reality, it takes about 10 hours to shoot it. So, it is quite an intensive day that we have. But the home cooks do cook within the time frame that they are given, but then it also the challenge revealing, the actual cooking, then the tasting, then the food shots, and then wrapping it up. And a lot of the times we also make mistakes when we say out a couple of things, and then we have to go back and sort of patch it up. So media is a completely different ball game. So it's been fun. That is what people don't see. The effort and the amount of people that it takes to bring something like that together. So you have so many brains working towards making something successful, and that shared energy is fantastic.
That's great, ma'am. So, if you were ever given the chance again, would you rather be a contestant on MasterChef or a judge?
Uh, that's a tough one. I can be a judge, and if they ever decide to have MasterChef India professional, I would definitely love to be a contestant as well. So I absolutely love cooking and taking on the challenges that they were given. So a bit of both because I like both sides of the table. So if given an opportunity, then I'll do both as well.
That's good to know. So again, in MasterChef,
Yes.
when you were judging, when you were shooting MasterChef Telugu, what who was the one contestant with whom you resonated the most, or which was the contestant whose journey you liked the most, and which was the most inspiring of everyone
I
in the entire
think
testing?
I think all of them had such unique stories to share. There were a couple of them who were coming from a background of not having the means to showcase their talent versus somebody who left their previous jobs and chose this as a passion, and somebody came to find their identity on the show to make a name for themselves. So I think it would be unfair for me to pick one contestant, but then I really, really enjoyed all of their stories, their unique approaches to food. And we also had all the contestants from different demographics, different age groups, which made it all the more interesting and fun as well. So even the winner of MasterChef India Telugu, Basha, who came from a background of, being an engineer to then switching over to being a chef and then convincing his parents. Then Sham, who was a street chef, he had a stall by the uh, by the beaches of Vizag, and then he came on board and he was the runner-up. So it was really inspiring to see their journeys and how consistently they were fighting to make it happen. So yes.
So the competition was real in the game.
Yes, it was. It really was. And the fact that, so all of their reasons for why they're doing what they're doing was very unique. And at the end of the day, they were all really supportive of each other too. So that was really nice to see, very refreshing, that even though it's a competition, they were really cheering on for each other.
Yes. So that is one thing I observed in the recent edition of MasterChef. That was done the Celebrity MasterChef. That contestants do help each other whenever they are cooking, and
Yes,
this brings
yes,
me to my next question about diplomacy. So
right.
it is believed that food can serve as a soft power in diplomacy. Food can help bring countries together. So
It does.
in your opinion, how can we use food to unite all the countries across the globe on a single?
I mean, I think the one thing that everybody connects over is food, and it is one of the most easiest way to connect to people. Like if I don't know someone, the first thing I start talking about is food, and then you see an instant smile, and they go back to their memories, they go back to their childhood, they go back to their roots and culture. And it's similar to each and every country and place, that it is so engrossed in the culture that they are grown up with, that it really connects people instantly. So every time we do all of these pop-ups, we bring in chefs from other countries, we go and represent our food as well. It is an exchange of culture that is happening. It is an exchange of something that is very true and meaningful to us. So, yeah, I think it can serve as a fantastic medium for people to connect. And even when I meet strangers, when I'm traveling, the biggest icebreaker is to talk about food. And you know, even if I go to other cities within India, you just talk to random strangers about where can I find the best of this. Like, सबसे अच्छा बिरयानी कहाँ मिलेगा? And they get so passionate about it,
True.
and they just give you so many suggestions. You go to places and you connect over food. So it can definitely act as a medium to bring people together. And it has been for centuries. When uh, for every household sitting together, sharing a meal is still so meaningful. And that's what we celebrate. At every occasion, we celebrate through food.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it definitely acts as a big medium to bring people together.
That's that's good to know. Food has the power to bring people together. That is for
It
sure.
does, it does.
So
It does. I mean, all the celebrations, we always, बिना खाना तो कुछ नहीं होता है.
Hmm.
And there is always good food that you want to share with people. So
Hmm.
yes.
That's great to know. So, ma'am, if you were given an option right now, which sweet dish would you make India's national sweet dish if you were given an option right now?
Oh my God. That is so, I think that's going to be a very, very, very difficult question because India has such unique desserts and sweets. And starting from the north to the south to the east and west, there is just so much of variance that we get. Something that we are not limited by is options. And there is not one thing that I can name. There are just so many, and the list will just go on and on and on and on. For instance, when I was just traveling to Rajasthan, I had gulab jamuns over there
Hmm.
from this place. I'm trying to recollect the name, but it was so unique
Hmm.
that it was not something that I've tasted before. Like I've not had something like that before. So reference to each of the mithais that we have is also so different from places. Because for instance, we make something called arsalu in Andhra Pradesh,
Hmm.
which is also made in Karnataka as kajaya, which is again, it's the same, but it's got such a different rendition of it.
Hmm.
It's got such a different variation of it. So I really cannot point one and say that this would be the national mithai or dessert or sweet of India. Uh, but I think going back to nostalgia, my dad would always bring back Kalakand for me.
Oh.
So I still love it to date.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think because it's etched in my memory that I uh, I would go back to that. But I think it would be unfair to say that it's the national sweet of India.
Hmm.
It's going to be a big fight, I think.
Yeah.
Uh,
True.
so yes, um, so many, so many sweets. And I'll just keep talking about this if you ask me this question. So yeah, it is a tough, tough question.
Great. So, ma'am, my next question is more focused on the business environment in which the cafes or the restaurants run. It's about sustainability.
Yes, correct, correct.
Seeing the current environment that we are living in, sustainability is highly required for all the businesses.
Yes,
So, how
yes.
do you embrace sustainability both in your cooking and in Naomi Patisserie? Like when you run, what are the things that are sustainable in your business, or how do you focus
See, I
on
think
sustainability?
I think it is again see the word sustainability is again personal to everybody. You can be sustainable in the smallest of ways by, just seeing how efficiently you're using water in your business. And sustainability also has a diverse uh, meaning, whether what is working for you in order to make your business sustainable as well. So, couple of things is that restaurants also have actively started using is being very cautious with the amount of electricity that they're using, the water they're using, all of that. And when you come towards the sustainability of the business, which is on the longer run, how are they sustaining themselves? I think it comes from a whole lot of aspects, which is to be cautious about your overheads, to see how much are you spending versus being in check with the financials of the business, because sometimes it is easy to be um, guided or say word called fashion. But if you're running a business, you need to be on top of your financials to see what is working out and what is bringing people back. So all of these elements are also really important. So you'll have to give me which sustainability are we talking about, which is the environmental sustainability or the business sustainability.
Environmental sustainability.
Right. So if we talk about the environmental sustainability, then for sure we are moving to a lot of packaging that is more sustainable. We are moving towards, like I said, how efficiently we are using water in the business, because that is one of the biggest consumptions that we have on a day-to-day basis. And also being mindful about um, how often are you using reusable stuff than one-time disposable materials? So, yes, in all of this, there is a need more than a want to be sustainable towards all of this. And also, simple things, right? Like we as chefs have started talking a lot about using seasonal ingredients, because at the end of the day, you don't want something to be overconsumed, and then that is causing a strain on the environment, because people are asking for strawberries during the summers, which is uh, which has never grown. But then this whole consumption pattern of I want everything throughout the year has also caused big strain on the environment. So that is something that all the chefs have actively started talking about, that eat seasonal, consume products when they are available in the season, and let's not go into this medium of overconsumption. So, for instance, the mango season has not even hit, and a lot of people have already started doing so many
True,
mango-based products.
true, true.
So ideally, if you go by the season, it's not going to be available till mid-May. So there is this supply, there's this demand which is causing this supply to be available by any and every means.
Hmm.
So we have to be mindful about all of this, and we are talking very actively about all of this.
That's true, that's true. And since you highlighted mango, mango is my favorite fruit. I love eating mango. So,
Yes.
which is your favorite mango sweet dish that if given 10 mangoes now, what is the thing that you will make? Definitely.
Oh my God. I think I love eating mango as is more than doing anything extravagant with it. Uh, One of the simplest cakes that I remember growing up and eating is a mango cake with some fresh cream. Uh, the most simplest basic thing done right with a very nice light airy sponge, some nicely whipped good fresh cream,
Hmm.
cold fresh cream, and
Hmm.
some mangoes. I wouldn't want to alter it too much,
Hmm.
but I would also love a mango and pistachio gelato,
Hmm.
because of the season. It's so hot and you want to indulge in something cold. So these were some of I'm a person who believes in brilliant basics. I love basic things done exceptionally well.
Hmm.
So these are some of the things that I would go back to, or just sit and enjoy the fruit as is, because it's got such an amazing flavor
Hmm.
that you
True.
really don't want to be doing too much with it. You don't want to add too much to it. You don't want to complicate it.
True, true. That's true. So, coming to my next question, ma'am, at IIMUN, we encourage youngsters to
Yes.
learn international values by being true to their Indian roots and their cultural
Yes.
roots. At Naomi Patisserie, how do you make international bestsellers by also keeping your Indian roots in mind? How do you blend global and Indian ingredients together?
So something that we have grown up with is or let me rephrase this. Something that I have been trained with is learning to do, learning to work with international techniques and learning French patisserie, all of that. And then now, as a chef, it is always interesting for me to use Indian ingredients and still, work with those techniques. So, one of the simplest desserts that we had was a strawberry orchard, which was made with Nolan gourd. Nolan gourd is something that is specifically available in the winters,
Hmm.
and strawberries as well. So I generally love combining what is local ingredients that are available specific to the season and then make interesting things out of it. Um, another such thing was to combine peppers from Kerala with an almond-based dessert. So, and use, a variety of bananas to make different sort of desserts or pastries, or even as simple as an ice cream or a gelato. So, yeah, we always think of going back to what is available in the season, what is Indian to us, and how can we bring it in a different manner.
Understood, ma'am. Got it.
Yes.
Now, ma'am, coming to your pivot moment in your career, if I have to term it, you and your co-founder, Chef Akash Stanley, both of you worked in ITC. And ITC is a very well-structured luxury hospitality chain. What was the pivot and what were the major learnings that you got from this pivot, from moving from a structured luxury hospitality chain to a fresh entrepreneurial environment?
Uh, I think it came from a place of being too comfortable. We are both young chefs, and being very comfortable early on in our careers made me uncomfortable. The fact that, you know, after some time you just want to see what more can you do. And sometimes being in an organization really put some boundaries to it. Of course, I had my foundation and my skill building, and me as a person developing definitely from the organization. But after a point, you do say that, this comfort is getting to me, and that is what sort of got to us, saying that we really wanted to do something. Um, and yeah, I think it's the comfort made us uncomfortable, if I have to simply put it, and say that let's see, let's try and explore our potential.
True, true. At I.I.M.U.N also we push youngsters to go out of their comfort zone and do something which makes them feel uncomfortable. So that is
Yes,
true.
and if you are not constantly feeling uncomfortable, I feel like you're not growing. Change is the only thing that is constant,
Yeah.
and you have to put yourself through situations to explore your own potential more than anything else. So, yes.
That is great to know. So what will be your advice for all the young aspiring culinary artists who are watching us in this live? What is your one message or go-to advice for all these young people?
I think the only advice would be to be patient. I think what I see right now is everyone's eager to uh, grow really fast, which is not a bad thing. In fact, it is something that is good that people are in check about the fact that they want to grow in their careers, but also that is tending to sort of making them um, have less patience in order to be able to grow towards that. So I think my only advice is build yourself, make your foundation really strong, and then success will just honestly come knocking on your door. So at every stage, there needs to be this hunger to do more and to constantly get yourself better at what you're doing. So that is something that I would version of yourself. And honestly, success will come. You don't have to go looking for it.
That's good to know, ma'am. So as you said, we need to break out of our comfort zone.
Yes.
But seeing the culinary business, it is more male dominated. Young women
Right.
who are, trying to enter into this field or are trying to make their mark in this field, what advice would you give to them?
I would say just break the ceiling. It's just a glass ceiling. Don't be knocked down by the fact that it is male dominant. Uh, in fact, um, we are encouraging a lot of women chefs, and they are really outperforming themselves. And I think earlier on there was this gender bias, but we are seeing that reduce a lot more day by day. And it's great because at the end of the day, the ones who are cooking is our mothers, who are women, and
True.
we are such boss ladies in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So we are boss ladies in the commercial kitchen as well. So I don't think we should have this bias anymore, and that a lot of people are being a lot more conscious about having this gender parity in
Hmm.
the workplaces as well. So it's just a glass ceiling, and we are breaking it.
That's very great to know. And it's also inspiring how you left your old job and you started a new venture all by yourself and with your co-founders. That's great to know. That's good to know that women are breaking barriers in this field.
Yes.
Now, it's very inspiring, genuinely. And
Thank you.
coming to the business prospect of what you
Right.
do in your day-to-day business. So, making pastries is not just the only thing that you do. You also run a cafe, you also run a pastry, which is hard and difficult to
So,
manage.
right. So, as we are speaking, I would like to say that I have exited the venture for several reasons. But of course, on a day-to-day basis, this cooking is like the 20% of the entire job role. Uh, a lot of it comes with having to learn the business aspects of the business, and each day is different. I don't think any entrepreneur has woken up and said that my day is going to be like this, because it's a whole lot of challenges that comes your way on a day-to-day basis, and you really have to be dynamic in order to be able to sort of mold yourself into this. You have to really work towards, you know, just saying that today is a new day and I'm going to make it happen. But yeah, it is tough sometimes. And like I said, cooking is the easiest part of being an entrepreneur for me. The rest of everything else is the tough part where you're figuring out everything, because there is this whole mental switch that happens from, you taking a comfortable salary from a place to, to then shifting to you being responsible for giving salaries to people and they're all dependent on you. So there is a whole lot of mental switch that happens, and it is exciting as well, but it is tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat that either.
So, ma'am, one question just out of curiosity, it's your
Yes,
discretion if you want to answer it or no.
right,
I'm
right.
very curious how much profit margin do cafes and pastries usually make?
So, honestly, it depends on the way the business runs and what is the sort of cost structures that they have. But if you are a decent business, um, clocking in decent numbers, you should be able to draw anywhere between 10 to 13% of profits from the business after all your expenses. So, yeah. And this
So,
sort of profit margin also happens on how quick you're able to break even as well. So yeah, it's a lot of factors that go into it. What size of a restaurant or cafe are you? What is your investment like? All of that.
understood, ma'am. Understood. Now, ma'am, Naomi Pastries has garnered attention for its unique dishes of your Indian
Right.
inclusion, global infusion in Indian dishes, and you have also created dishes like the Cupid Snitch. So, what
Yes.
is the inspiration behind making storytelling desserts? Desserts which tell a story
I
when you eat it.
I think it always makes a connection when you have a story behind it. And if you see, every brand is adapting this, every venture is adapting this. A storytelling sort of becomes very strong in terms of connecting with the brand, in terms of saying, hey, listen, what I'm doing connects with you. So, storytelling does become integral to every brand that is growing right now, and with social media being such a huge part of the brand's journey as well, it really helps bridge um, what is in the mind versus what's coming onto your plate. So now there is no longer this whole need of saying that, oh, I thought of this wonderful thing, but then how am I going to communicate it to my customers? That gap has really been bridged by social media, where you are putting your ideas and saying that this is what my thought process is, and it really connects with a lot of people. So even with a couple of dishes like the Cupid Snitch that we had, it was a Valentine's Day edition where we again used some interesting ingredients um, like Gondoraj, lemon, all of that. So it is something that really connects with people and bridges this gap of storytelling.
Hi, hello. Oh, okay. So I guess we are having technical issues, but it's a new normal of today's world where everything has been shifted to the internet. So we'll wait for Chef to join back. And before Chef joins back, what is your favorite dessert, guys? Which is the dessert that you guys like to eat? Your favorite dessert? Do you guys like mango? Do you guys like apple? What is your favorite fruit? What is your favorite fruit dessert? Do you guys like to cook or you guys just like to enjoy? खाना मिल गया हम खा लेंगे बनाने की मेहनत नहीं करनी. There can't be one, okay? Multiple favorite dishes? Okay, guys, if all of you are given the chance, what is the dessert that you will make as the national dessert of India? Which is the dessert which will be given the title of national dessert of India according to you? Is it amras? Is it gajak? Is it mohanthal? Is it gulab jamun? Is it rasgulla? Is it aam papad? Is it ghevar? Which dish? Which dessert? Rasmalai. Okay. Hi, hi, ma'am. Welcome back.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I think I lost some connection.
Yes, yes, ma'am. No, we were just again discussing about desserts only, like usual. Which dessert can
Yes,
be termed as the national dessert of India?
that's going to be a long, long conversation.
True, true. And ma'am, keeping in mind this entire session that we did, we just have a small rapid fire that we have planned.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'll tell you a word,
Mm.
and you have to tell the first thing that comes in your mind whenever I tell the particular word. So,
Okay.
chocolate,
Manan chocolate.
Hyderabad,
Yes. Ah, biryani.
biryani. Okay, inspiration.
Chef Kareem Bakery.
Okay, pastry,
Part of who I am.
MasterChef,
Always, always an inspiration.
challenge,
Bring it on. Sorry, I couldn't
innovation,
hear you.
innovation,
Um, keeps me going, keeps me curious.
India.
Absolutely proud of it.
Youth.
Hmm, it's in your heart. You're always young.
And ma'am, the last and the final one, which is the most important one. When I say the word India's international movement to unite nations, or IIMUN.
I think you guys are doing a wonderful job of really keeping youngsters together, bringing unique stories to the platform. So it's been experiential for people. So I do think that it is a great value addition for people to listen to everybody's stories and pick something up from there. So all the very best with all your initiatives.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. We just have few questions from the audience if you would like to take them.
Right.
So I've noted the
Yes.
question downs. We got them when the live was going on. So
Right.
one person has asked that which is the dessert that you will use as a therapy dessert? If you want to give someone therapy from food, which is the dessert that you will use?
Oh my God, this is so difficult. Um, maybe uh, therapy. Probably like a really well-made jalebi and rabdi or a rasmalai or for instance a really well-made decadent chocolate cake.
Good to know. Then another question was, what are your future plans for your patisserie? How would you like to expand your brand globally, or some new brand that you would want to open? Any plans of
Uh,
opening any new brands?
so right now I have started with a new brand. As we spoke, I did exit my venture recently, and I am quite happy to share what is new and exciting with the venture that I'm working, and I will reveal that shortly.
Okay, we are we are waiting for it. Surely.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yes. And ma'am, with that, we come to an end for the recipes for success. Thank you so much for doing this, ma'am. Your journey from a celebrated judge to an entrepreneur is nothing sort of inspiring. And your journey shows how determination and creativity can break barriers and set up new standards. Whether it's mentoring budding chefs or building brands or curating new dishes, you have done it all, and your work reflects courage. So, ma'am, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for being a part of the Recipes for Success series.
Thank you so much for having me.